NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
And we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Everybody, good morning. Whew, my God. I'm glad we're all here right now. I really am. The fact that we got to watch arguably one of the greatest Thursday night football games that was ever played. Ever in the history of the NFL. Ever.
Hey, at least there were touchdowns. Singular touchdown.
Touchdown.
Yeah,
right?
Touchdown
so I guess you
for
take
each
that.
team.
Take that for what it's worth.
I read a stat, and this is credit to Chris Trapasso. He tweeted out, we have seen one touchdown in the last 45 drives on Thursday Night Football. And that was, I believe, before the Commanders scored their touchdown.
Remember what I told you about Justin Fields?
I mean, you
Not
said a lot
knock against him.
You said a lot of things.
But I told you he's a bust. He's done. The situation he's in, done.
Yeah,
over. Awful. The worst situation probably in the NFL for any young quarterback.
I feel like
an awful GM, an awful head coach.
Yeah.
And look at that. What do you know? 12-7. And then he's sitting there dying on the floor, doing everything. Now he's doing push-ups.
I was reading some stats about Justin. I think he's like third in the NFL in being sacked the most, and he's like up there in hurries, pressures. Like the guy, and you saw it last night too. He had like 22 dropbacks at half, and I think he was either pressured, sacked, or hurried on like 80% of those snaps. So,
do you think Washington has a good football team?
Well, defensively maybe, but no, not an overall good football team.
Would you say Chicago has a good football team?
No.
They both have more wins than the Lions.
Well, okay, well, that's probably the X factor is that defense. But they don't have the offense.
An X factor defense. Look at this defense. That's defense. Unbelievable.
So that would be the biggest separation is their defense.
One of the more irritating games I've ever watched in my life, and I'm angry watching that game last night. Not because it wasn't entertaining, not because Terry McLaurin sucked. Nothing to do with my biases.
Nothing to do with the orange uniforms.
Nope.
That you did not like.
That they didn't look good at all.
Oh, come on, you hater.
But the reality is, I got angry because these teams somehow, some way, have more wins than the Detroit Lions. Makes no sense to me. But I look at Justin Fields, Carson Wentz, awful quarterback play. Awful quarterback play. Somehow, some way, both teams are able to force punts. Both teams kick field goals. I didn't know you can kick field goals in the NFL. Drives me nuts. Well, they didn't kick. I don't think there was a field goal attempt last night, was there?
Yeah. Washington, their first points were a field goal.
Their first 2 points, right?
Just to get on the board, yeah. But I guess the only I wouldn't even call this an excuse.
Jeff, move, you jackass. They're telling you to move.
I wouldn't even call this an excuse, but I guess the only thing you could say on behalf of Washington and Chicago is at least they trust their defense. Like, in a way, they're not one of the best defenses in the NFL, but at least if you kick a field goal, you know your defense can get a stop. I mean, it doesn't excuse Dan for going for it, but, it's not like the Lions they can't prevent touchdowns.
Well, if that game gave you anything,
right?
If you're a Detroit Lions fan, you have no excuse not to beat the Bears twice because they suck. And you mollywopped Washington. So if you want to take anything from that game, you should have another 2 wins at least this year. Congratulations.
Did you hear Sam Flannel's take yesterday?
No.
He said the Bears will sweep the Lions. And that was based off how bad they've been playing, but he said sweep.
I swear to God, some people
but do you have trust in the Lions that they're going to beat the Bears?
Fish, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up, you and Flannel. Shut the hell up.
I mean, we both have one of the best names in the world, so how do you know?
Shut up.
Yeah. We lost to the Bears, last year, 13-10?
Yeah. They lost twice to the Bears last year.
Yeah,
disgusting.
Swept.
I was at that game, by the way.
They're not getting swept again this year. That would be incredibly difficult to do. No, I don't agree with flannel.
They're going 1-1.
Maybe.
You really think you can win in Chicago?
That's not saying much. That's like you saying, "Oh, Adam, do you really think you can go see a girl naked at the strip club?" Same thing. That easy. Chicago sucks.
What are the lines of 1-4?
That is true.
Dan Campbell hasn't won a road game.
I know that, buddy. I
They're
don't like
going
Dan
to the
Campbell
spaceship
either.
of
But the
Soldier
Bears
Field.
suck. The Bears have no talent from A to Z. Fish, mute your mic. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking for the rest of the show. 8:06 on a beautiful Friday morning. Looking forward to a great weekend college football show tomorrow. Can't wait. 10 a.m. live here on Woodward Sports. We got Michigan Penn State coming up at 8:15, 8:30. We got to talk about the Pistons preseason. I mean, they are causing unnecessary drama, unnecessary turmoil. It is funny to see. Social media sometimes is a fun place to be.
Detroit fans are in their feelings right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because of what they've seen.
Even the Jalen Green stuff, I've seen that. That's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
But we got Michigan State, Wisconsin at 8:45. We'll go around the NFL at 9 o'clock, top of the hour. Second hour, we'll get into Michigan's offense, what it will need to do against Penn State, how concerned Lions fans should be about the Detroit Lions. We're going to take callers. You guys are more than welcome to call once we do that. It'll be a good show. I'm excited.
The Wings play today, too.
The Wings do play today.
Mike will be down there.
We are fortunate to have Mike in the building at the moment. Mike, it's about that time.
Yes, it is.
Plus 2,000, Mo Seider on the Norris Trophy. Now, granted, it's Cale Makar's award to lose. There's no chance he does not win it unless he gets hurt. But I like this team a lot. I'm not saying playoffs, especially in their division, which is arguably the hardest division in all of hockey. But 90 points, 92 points, fair?
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's fair. And I don't know what their over-under was set at, and I do like Mo at plus 2,000 for the call there. It's pretty nice odds. If the Red Wings do turn out to be good, it's really good odds. So
hey, Mike, show the shirt too. You can get that on woodwardsports.com. The Woodward Wings. It's nice. You can check that out in the shop. Get yourself something before the season.
Nelson Metcalf in the Woodward Sports chat says, WTF, what is wrong with this dude telling everyone to shut the F up? And Nelson, shut the fuck up.
Hey.
Hey, what do you know? I do whatever I want.
Yeah, he does.
Get used to it.
He has no control.
You don't like it? Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. Well, see you later. Go find another network.
God. Bunch of
Well, Nelson's never seen the show before.
In the chat.
Well, this is welcome.
Yeah, sensitive people.
Did Adam just tell somebody to shut up?
This is who he is. This is who he is.
Oh
my God! How dare him! Oh no!
He's probably a Michigan
Mike
fan
McCarthy.
too.
Oh my God! How can I sleep at night?
He's probably a Michigan fan too.
Goddamn people!
Oh, Nelson, you didn't know what he was walking into.
Welcome everybody. Good morning. Hope you're all having a great day. Wings do start off tonight. I'm excited. Look, something I do want to address related to the Wings to get this show started. Dylan Larkin's contract. Whew. They're not making a move in season. It typically doesn't happen, that kind of contract extension. This is a guy, if you look at Barzell out in New York, I believe, he's getting over $9 million a year. Do you want to pay $9 million plus a year for Dylan Larkin? That's a tough one. I don't know. I wish I could give you a legitimate answer. I don't know. What I do know is this will be Steve Yzerman's biggest test, because Larkin is the captain of this hockey team. Very odd. Very rarely do you see captains just walk in free agency, right? And that's the reality with Larkin. So what Steve and Larkin agreed to, what it may be, I hope it's a friendlier contract than what we've seen go around the NHL. But the reality is, I think most fans would agree. Mike, feel free to chime in and tell me I'm wrong, that they would prefer to have Larkin stay for the long term.
Yeah, no, I definitely think so. And I definitely think if Larkin plays well this season, he will end around that $9 million range, as much as we don't want it to be that high. But with Matt Barzell's contract, like you said, it's going to end up around that range, I believe.
Fair enough.
This is the season.
Fair enough. I'm excited for the Wings, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good season. Again, I'm not labeling playoffs on it, but I think most Wings fans can agree this is going to be a team that probably by February March. They're not the best team in hockey, but you know what? Maybe they are in the hunt. Maybe they are in that conversation. And maybe they fall out. But Derek Lalonde, they made a few free agent signings that you like a lot. You have some kids coming up. Raymond going into his second year. Seider going into his second year. Seider will probably finish the year as one of the 3, 4, or 5 best defensemen in hockey. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's the reality. He's legit. Oh, Adam, it's Mo Seider, you're a Red Wings guy. Just watch. I'm not even going to address it throughout the season. I won't even bring it up. Just you can bookmark the tape from now. Dude's going to be a top 3, top 4, top 5 defenseman in the NHL, and everybody around the league is going to be giving him unimaginable recognition, admiration, yada, yada, yada. He'll probably be an all-star this year. And that's it. That's all I have to say. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to know that. I know you agree with me, Jeff. Michael, I know you agree with me.
Yeah, no, we've
this
talked
is
about
the reality.
This.
We all see it. You know you have a star in Mo Seider. And he will be one of the 3, 4, 5 best defensemen in hockey. It's that simple. And God bless you, Steve Yzerman.
God bless him.
Seriously.
I want to see the
to
Lalonde effect, too. I mean, he's bringing that Tampa system over.
I would just say this for
players
Lalonde.
Are much more... I mean, look, think about it. Like, it's different when somebody like Lalonde brings a system over that's proven, rather than a system like Blashill. Well, you're just kind of playing to play. So Lalonde, I'm excited, man. He's a realist too. He kept it real. I know, Mike, you've been there. He's been pretty real in press conferences. Like, hey, we expect to take improvements, but he understands, like, just like the NBA, the East is different in NHL. So although they might not make the playoffs, you want to see that improvement. So, and I like the free agency moves they've made. Honestly,
this is what I have to say on Derek Lalonde. Steve Yzerman hired him. No problem.
Apparently, Steve Yzerman also hired Scott Harris.
Steve Yzerman hired John Cooper.
He's hired everybody.
One of, if not the best coach in all of hockey since he's been in Tampa. He built that dynasty. He drafted Kucherov, Vasilevsky, Hedman. I can go on and on.
And Lalonde is Cooper's man, dude. Like, he let Lalonde do a lot of the media availability when he wasn't doing it. So he was pretty much like, hey, take it away, Lalonde.
So I'm looking forward.
Got a lot of trust in him.
I'm looking forward to Derek Lalonde and the Detroit Red Wings. So excited.
Me too.
Look, it's a jam-packed show. We'll get started. Let's take a quick pause. When we get back, Michigan, Penn State. The Wolverines are favored by 7. How much pressure is on J.J. McCarthy and Jim Harbaugh to take care of business at the Big House? That and so much more. But before we go, I got to tell you about our good friends over at Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, home of the Woodward Sports Network. Of course, the studio is brought to you by our good friends over at Planet Fitness. Sign up today, one down, $10 a month, and take your fitness seriously. We'll be broadcasting the 26th, September 26th, on Ryan Road out in Sterling Heights. Or, excuse me, October 26th. Thank you, Fish. In Sterling Heights on Ryan Road. Can't wait. All day, all the shows will be there. We're giving away Braylon Edward jersey, signed by Braylon, a signed Darren McCarty jersey, yada, yada, yada. You name it. We got it. So excited. We'll see you guys in just a bit.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about our friends at Ulta. Because, guys, at Ulta, uptime matters. Ulta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You have a big project coming up? Well, Ulta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ULTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ULTA today.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Thank you to everybody joining us this morning. 8:15, Jeff, Michigan, Penn State. Damn. It's time. This is Big Ten season.
Yeah.
It's time. Matchup of undefeated. It's 2 top 10 teams. This is the litmus test for Michigan now. J.J. McCarthy, we talked about him, first Big Ten start a few weeks ago. And then it was the first Big Ten start on the road. And then it was, okay, here we go. Now it's Penn State. Okay. All right, J.J. Like, we talked about J.J. McCarthy, the X factor that he is, what he can be to this Michigan offense. For JJ and Jim Harbaugh, and look, in college football, you can lose to a Penn State, run the table, still get in by beating Ohio State. So
i.e. last year.
I'm not going to sit here and say must win.
Right.
But this is a litmus test for what you believe and what we believe Michigan are this year, which are definite Big Ten contenders. Mm-hmm. Now, my mind won't change even if they lose, but I think my mind will change based on how they win. What I mean by that is I believe Ohio State is clearly the best team, not only in the country, obviously in the Big Ten. And there isn't much that has swayed me so far from anybody's performances that would convince me Ohio State won't run the table for the entire year. Having said that, Michigan, if they are able to open up the offense, take advantage of a James Franklin coach team,
right,
continue to put pressure on Clifford on Saturday. They do all of this. The offense takes that next step. Roman Wilson, Ronnie Bell, we'll see if Roman Wilson will be available, but likely will. Cornelius Johnson, Andrell Anthony, Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum. You get the offense humming in a big game, I feel a little better about Michigan. So they've had some first half scares, let's put it that way. Maryland, you go to any game, the first half, second half, they put the foot on the pedal against Indiana, took care of business. But I want to see 4 quarters, Michigan playing their brand of football, and I think it's not only more than enough to beat Penn State. I think they'll be able to cover. I don't think Penn State offensively matches up the way Michigan does. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
No, I'm with you. I think you said it perfectly at the end. 4 quarters, because that's kind of been the struggle with Michigan lately. You could talk about the schedule they've had. This is their real I mean, we talk about the defense Iowa has, and JJ only threw for 150-something yards, but they won the ball game, and it was close at times, probably a little too close. But this is a bigger test. Now, it's at home in Penn State, 2 teams that are built very similar. Both can run the ball. Both have pretty solid defenses. And I think Penn State, just as a secondary, like, they're going to man you up. And they're going to make JJ complete tough throws that he wasn't able to complete so far this season. We know he can do it, but he hasn't done it. So this is going to be a big game, Adam. I think you hit on it. With Michigan, it's almost like a measuring stick. Because if you go out and you take care of Penn State, I think a lot of Michigan fans get even more confident at the end of the year going to Columbus. Now, do I think they'll beat Ohio State? We got to get there, and we got to talk about it. But I think Penn State right now, I mean, very similar. And I think even really the deciding factor for me is whoever wins this ball game is going to be whoever runs the ball the most effectively. Like that's the MO for both these teams. So for me, I'm still going to lean Michigan. I know it's funny because yesterday we posted that clip, and Michigan fans accused me of rooting against Michigan. But guess what? Still got Michigan winning. So all that BS, yeah. I don't think they're going to win a national championship. At least I haven't seen proof of that yet. But Penn State's a good measuring stick. I think a litmus test is a good way to describe it. It is at home. Penn State's had all week to study you. They've had the bye week. But I still think Michigan comes out on top. I mean, they're favored by 7, and I do think that's fair. I think this is a touchdown game, and I got Michigan coming out on top. I think this is a big game for JJ. Now, he doesn't have to throw for 300 yards, but you got to take care of the football. You got to be decisive, and you got to hit some of those throws you haven't been able to hit earlier, especially, i.e. Indiana or Iowa, those teams. Maryland is another one that he just came short on a couple of those deep passes, especially if Roman Wilson's playing, because you're going to have opportunities. But I'm still going to roll with Michigan. I think Blake Corum has to have one of those Heisman-esque performances. He's got to go out and ball. Penn State can run the football. They got 2 freshman running backs, by the way, Singleton and I can't remember the other name. 2 freshmen, and they're playing extremely well this year. So that's going to be the test. Whoever can run the football the most effectively, I think, is who comes out with a win. And I'm going to lean Michigan because that offensive line is the real deal, man. It really
offensive line is the real deal. James Franklin struggles against Michigan.
I feel like Harbaugh's going to coach circles around him.
Yes.
That's probably what's going to happen.
And my reality, what I see is 28-17, Michigan win this football game. I would love to see the offense open up. We can get to that later in the second hour. There are things Michigan must do, not for the sake of my entertainment, yours, or any Michigan fan, or anybody really, but for the sake of, hey, you know what? We probably don't want to run our offense out of the 6, 7, 8 same sets every game.
Right.
Becomes very predictable. No pre-snap motion. Now, Roman Wilson missing against Indiana. J.J. McCarthy was still able to throw his first 300-yard game. Do I expect him to throw for 300 against a Penn State defense? No, I don't. But he has that ability. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to sit up here and start making excuses or, we shouldn't expect it. This is J.J. McCarthy. He's clearly night and day an upgrade over your quarterback from last season. He is an X-factor quarterback, and I expect him in the big games to play as such. Now, if you're telling me Michigan is just able to run the ball 30 times for 200-plus yards, they control the game, yada, 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 all right, what do? You're just better than the team, you can run the ball. Cool.
Right.
But I don't expect that to be the case against Penn State, and I expect J.J. McCarthy to make 2, 3, 4 plays unscripted that either keep the chains moving or lead to 7. And whatever it may be, I think he is that guy. You have to see more out of him if you're a Michigan fan. 300 against Indiana was nice. Threw his first interception. Followed it up by going 10 for 10 after that. So love to see that from the kid. But the reality is he is a significant upgrade. Michigan wins easily. Give me 28-17 Michigan, Jeff.
And the one stat that stood out to me is I was looking at both of these teams' team statistics, and one thing that stuck out is Michigan, they both are very good against the run, by the way. Michigan only allows about 80 yards. I get the people they've played, by the way. I'm completely aware of that. But they still allow a little over 80 yards per game rushing. Penn State, 80 yards per game rushing. The biggest difference, though, is passing yards per game. And Penn State's given up 262 yards, opposed to Michigan 165. So that's going to be an opportunity for JJ. Like you said, if you can open up the playbook, and whether it's saving plays, whatever it is, I don't think that's the case. And if anything, this is the game you're going to want to open up the playbook. A lot of it's going to ride, I think, as always, on JJ McCarthy. But he could still win this game. Not, it's funny because I don't want to say pedestrian, but he can still win this game, not throwing, like you said, for 300
against
yards.
Penn State with Cade. So
exactly,
again,
it's not
is
all
the
on
defense
JJ.
going to hold Penn State to under 10 points? Is the defense going to do all? All right,
that's it.
You tell me that. Yeah, Michigan's winning easily. They don't need to do much. But I do expect Penn State to really play a tough game. It's going to be close. Probably till the fourth quarter, where I think Michigan will pull away.
I think so too.
I like Michigan by double digits. So.
Yeah, and that's kind of been the narrative all year for Michigan. They're probably this is going to be a very close game, but like you said, second half, fourth quarter, I could see Michigan pulling away here. And their defense, this is the time. I mean, we talk about the pass rush. We had Anthony Broom on. A lot of question marks. They've showed up at times. This would be the game. You got to get after Sean Clifford and that running attack. And by the way, the second running back, forgot his name, Katron Allen. So they got Singleton and Katron Allen, 2 guys that it's funny because combined their yards, Blake Corum has that. So another big game. It's got to be from Blake Corum.
Is Blake Corum a legitimate Heisman candidate or no?
Could I argue this would be one of those moments if he goes out and has 150, close to 200 yards and they win? This could legitimately be a moment, right? 2 undefeated teams. You beat Penn State.
I just don't think anybody is looking at Blake Corum. And I'm sorry, Michigan fans. You're going to hate me. You're going to think I'm biased. I promise you I'm not. But we, for some reason in the media, aren't looking at Blake Corum the way you looked at Kenneth Walker last year.
But could I argue 2 different brands? Michigan State as opposed to a national, they've had, now look at how many noon kickoffs they had.
Well, you look at Son Haskins last year, did just fine. If I gave Donovan Edwards those carries, he would be just fine. I'm giving Berger and all those guys at Michigan State those carries, not the same. Not the same. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's keeping Blake, who, by the way, deservingly so, all the numbers he's putting up, God bless him, he's playing elite. But that's why he's not in the Heisman conversation. And yeah, it would take a 2-3 touchdown performance against Penn State, 2-3 touchdowns against Michigan State, 2-3 touchdowns against Ohio State.
Yep.
You're looking at a 20-plus touchdown season for Blake Corum.
Yeah.
So, tough for me to say he shouldn't be in the conversation. I just don't think he's anywhere near Caleb Williams, C.J. Stroud, Hooker out in Tennessee. He's just not there. Now, is he top 10, top 12? Sure. But I don't think anybody's really putting stock into the Blake Corum Heisman race. Oh, he's a Heisman player. I don't see it. If you watch Michigan and you try to convince me he's a quote-unquote Heisman player, I haven't seen it yet. The numbers would indicate otherwise.
Right.
But you haven't seen it. He's made some spectacular runs, phenomenal player. He's become their workhorse. Awesome. But against Penn State, yeah, you go run for 3 touchdowns. I think you're going to change the minds of a lot of people, including me.
And I think the difference, too, last year they did have Adham. They had a defensive player make that trip to New York. I don't think they'll have one this year on defense. So if you're going to have a player, it's going to be Blake Corum. I said that a couple weeks ago on the college football show we do on Saturdays. I said if there's a Heisman candidate from Michigan, it's Blake Corum. But we'll see. You're right, Adam. He's got to show it. And I think this is an opportunity, a big game. You have Michigan State, and then you have Ohio State. Those are 3 opportunities. If you can have a big game, Blake Corum will be there, in my opinion. But we'll see.
And look, again, I think what he's done is enough to be in the conversation.
Right, statistically. And I think he's probably at what, plus 2,000 right now? Plus 1,800. He's probably like 5th, 6th, or 7th on the list in terms of odds to win the Heisman. Yeah,
but you know how difficult it would be for him to win the Heisman?
He's currently 6th. Right in front of DJ Ugalele.
So it's not absurd to say he's in the Heisman race, but the reality is he isn't. He's beyond an underdog to even be part of the conversation. So no, I don't think anybody's taking the Blake for Heisman announcement claim seriously. Nobody is. But he runs for 2-3 touchdowns against Penn State, follows it up with a performance against Michigan State, and then they do it against Ohio State. We're talking about a Heisman frontrunner. Yes, we are. An undefeated, 1-loss Michigan, Big Ten champion. Yeah, we're talking about... But the problem is the running backs have no room for error.
Yeah,
Clearly, the Ohio State game cost Kenneth Walker. If Blake Corum misses a half, then what? So it's tricky. I wouldn't bet on it. I don't think he makes it to New York. I just don't. There's way too much competition. Go for it.
The 4 in front of him, he's 6. So 4 out of the 5 in front of him are all quarterbacks. So yeah, I mean, you got to point there.
Who's the one non-quarterback that's in front of him?
I believe. Let me see. Oh no, they're all quarterbacks.
Okay,
had to look. Yeah. Dorian Thompson out of UCLA is the 5th. So that's another quarterback. So
UCLA?
they're all It's quarterbacks 1 through 5, and then Blake Corum. So likelihood. We'll see.
You know who's been a surprise, by the way, out of UCLA? Got to give Chip Kelly credit, by the way. Well done, turning it around.
Zach
Charbonnet.
Yeah, Charbonnet, that old Michigan running back.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. Good for UCLA. When we get back...
Chip Kelly.
When we get back, Pistons... We got to talk about the Pistons. They suck in preseason. Clearly, they're going to lose every game this year.
Yep.
There's no hope.
That's it.
Dwayne Casey should be fired. Cade Cunningham sucks.
Tear it all down.
Jaden Ivey, a waste of a pick. Yeah. You know, social media these days. So we'll get to the Pistons. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Big Frog.
Guys, Big Frog, I'll tell you about them because you can get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. Stop in, tell them we sent you, and they will get you one, hook you up with the t-shirt. Or you can go to bigfrog.com/Novi and check out other things. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you there.
For a limited time only. All new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit customhealthcenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
And we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Jeff, the Pistons' preseason struggles continue. Be the voice of reason here.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, let's just start, guys. It's preseason. It's preseason. I mean, this is probably... I get there are concerns. I mean, the one thing... I'll tell you some of my concerns, just to start it off. One, they have been shooting a ton of threes. And I don't know if that's a preseason thing and that's the offense they're going to run. They've been outscored in the paint in every game they've played. And that speaks also to the size. I know Isaiah Stewart, he's been playing really well. And he's been shooting, what do you shoot, 4 for 10 from 3. So he can shoot too. And again, that's something he's been adding this offseason. So I'm excited for Isaiah Stewart. But Duren's going to be an important piece this year because you saw, I mean, the guy's a walking double-double. If he can just get the 10 points, he's guaranteed 10-plus rebounds. And that's one of the positives. There's a lot of positives to take away, although they haven't won in preseason. And I get Cade has been struggling, but again, it's Cade Cunningham. If people want to bring up that Jalen Green is hooping in preseason, that's fine. But last year, he was struggling in the regular season until the last part of the year. So I don't want to hear it. I'm going to wait till the regular season to make all these different proclamations of get rid of this guy, trade this guy sucks. The preseason is not the time to do that, by the way. And Dwayne Casey, nobody should hold him accountable. This is not his job this year is to develop these players and win some games. You got to improve. I get that. But people really have expectations, or at least having these insane expectations because of, this is my theory, because of what they've seen with the Lions and Tigers. The Pistons are not going to make the play-in. I'll tell you this right now. They could, and if you go to LCA and talk to those players, they'd convince you that we're going to try and make the play-in. But the reality is, they're just not ready. The team is, most of your rotation is 20 to 22-year-olds. You have Bojan Bogdanovic, who's actually looked pretty good. He can shoot. Marvin Bagley is going to be out the first couple weeks of the season. They're going to struggle. Surprise. I mean, for anybody who thought this team would be, in the playoff picture in the middle to end of this season, you're just wrong. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs. There's going to be games like last night against Memphis where they go down, they claw back, and then they lose. You want to see them compete. That was the number one word that's been spoken about. Troy Weaver, Dwayne Casey, even amongst the players, compete. Did you hear playoffs? No. I heard compete. They're going to want to stay in these games. And they haven't done that, some of these preseason games. But again, it's preseason. It's essentially an extended practice. That's what Dwayne Casey said from his own mouth. Like, this is an opportunity for these guys to get run, get into basketball, more into basketball shape, and just get reps. Go shoot. For me, I'm not going to take I'm taking little to anything from preseason. I'm waiting till the regular season. They're not making the playoffs. They're going to be competing, and that's all that matters. As long as, if you told me, Jeff, by the end of the season, the Pistons win 30 games, but Sadiq's improved, Cade's improved, Jaden Ivey looks like a legitimate player, Jalen Duren looks like a steal, Isaiah Stewart is turned into this guy who can do it all, can switch among multiple positions, which he's been able to do, shoot threes. I'll take that. Marvin Bagley comes back, he looks good. I'll take that. And then you walk into the offseason with all this money to spend, guys are getting older, you're going to have another probably top 10 pick. That's all you ask for. Like, for people that have these expectations that are unrealistic, you're the reason your heart's being broken. And that's the reality. I'm not sweating it, Adam. I'm really not. I've been enjoying watching this preseason. I think it's been good just to watch these guys. They have to get used to playing together. Number one, the famous quote in the NBA, if you want to lose games, play young guards. They have two guys, one in his second year, one in his rookie year, playing at your point guard and two guard position. So, I mean, what do you expect out of those two? They got to learn to play. There's going to be a lot of turnovers. You can see that already amongst Cade and Jaden. And they got to figure it out. I mean, you've seen Cade last night play a lot of off-ball. I mean, do you want him playing off-ball as much as he did? No, but I don't think that's going to be the case. There's going to be a balance that's going to have to be learned amongst Jaden and Cade. So until then, I'm not panicking at him. It's only preseason, and we've seen this in the past. Even last season, Cade didn't even play in the preseason. It didn't matter. He struggled early in the season. This is an opportunity for him to get warmed up before the regular season. That's all it is.
Let me ask you this.
No panic. You're good.
Let me ask you this.
You're good.
Jalen Duren.
He's a physical specimen, man. I mean, he really is.
he has it. And I don't mean that lightly. He's got to run at the 5, 20, 22 minutes a game to start the year.
Yeah,
and eventually be the starter.
He's going to take Nerlens Noel's job.
And then Stewart, we can agree, is the 4. He's more of a 4 than he is a 5 anyway, so it kind of works out for Detroit.
Yeah.
Now you're probably going to want Bogdanovich out there and all this stuff, sure. But walk me through, I don't need the whole team's rotation, but specifically the Duren, Stewart, Bogdanovich. What does that situation look like? Is it as simple as, hey, they're going to run a small unit out there and probably have Duren out there as the one big man? Or maybe they run a whole smaller unit with Isaiah Stewart at the 5. How does this work? Is my question, especially with Bagley out now for a few weeks.
I think the future is going to consist of, like you said, Isaiah Stewart at the 4, Jalen Duren at the 5. That's probably the future front court, or at least you would imagine it would be now that Isaiah can shoot. But how it'll start is Bojan starting at that 4 position. You saw it last night. I think he does start in the regular season, at least now that Marvin Bagley's out. And it just provides a veteran presence. You get more spacing with Jaden and Cade, which is something I've advocated for. And you have Isaiah Stewart at the 5 who can also shoot. Now, the only problem with that is size. You give up a lot of points in the paint. And I know, just to address on WoodwardSports.com, my guy MP, are you not allowed to play defense in the preseason, Jeff? Well, yeah, they've struggled. But that's a lot of just figuring out their lineups.
Every game in the preseason is like 136, 112. I mean, what are we saying here?
Well, specifically with the Pistons,
112, 124, 116.
They have to figure out a realistic rotation. I think Dwayne is talked about that too, getting to the regular season, like who he wants, where, and how many minutes they're going to be playing. So I'm not going to base how they play defense. I know they're running this switch everything philosophy, which we'll see. They give up a lot of points in the paint because of that. But for the rotation, Adam, it's going to be Isaiah at the 4 and Duren at the 5. Now, that'll be down the road. I think that's the ideology you want to see a year from now, maybe late of this season. But they're going to start Bojan early. I mean, he's the vet. He's a piece you can plug anywhere, and he can just fit seamlessly. So that's going to be who starts in the beginning of the season. But who knows? Down the line, I can smell a Isaiah Stewart and Duren front court, no doubt. They just got to get Duren more acclimated. He fouled out yesterday. Like that's Duren's biggest thing. Is as great as he is defensively, he's got to get those fouls under control, because it seems like he had that beautiful block, by the way, at the rim. But other than that, he's just fouling too much, and he did that at college. So that's something he's got to overcome. But once he gets acclimated, he's going to be starting. Like, he's got all the talent, but he is only 18 years old, guys.
You mentioned the front court. You mentioned the front court. Let's go to the back court. You mentioned you want to lose, start 2 young guards. Ivy, Duren, you have Saddiq Bey. How does that dynamic work out? How does it play out? Along with Killian Hayes, who looks hungry, more aggressive, yada, 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 everything we've heard in preseason about this kid. There's only one basketball.
Yep.
There is only a certain amount of minutes. You can't play them all at the same time because it just doesn't make sense. They don't fit. They don't play well with each other. You need more spot-up shooters when when Cade Cunningham or Jaden Ivey are on the court. So that is an interesting conversation that I want to have, because what are we looking at? 32, 34 minutes a night for Cade?
Yeah, no question.
28, 26 minutes a night for the rookie Ivy? Maybe more?
Maybe closer to 30, yeah.
So then where's Killian and all these other players that are going to play the guard position? You need people around Ivy, around Cade, who can just stand, create space, and be ready for a shot. That's not how this team is built right now. Now, do I think it's how it will be built in a few years? Sure. But right now, I'm looking around. Bogdanovich is nice. Stewart's nice. Those are 2 players, and you're not going to win in the NBA with 6-7 players.
Right. No, and I think Killian's future role, obviously, I mean, you talk about the talent they have on the bench now. I mean, Marvin Bagley, once he gets back, I'm talking about that. Right now, they're struggling a little bit. You don't have Marvin. But on top of that, let's just assume Marvin gets back in a couple weeks. Look at the talent Killian has to work with. I mean, Marvin Bagley, Alec Burks, you have Isaiah Livers, and then you have Killian Hayes, of course, who I think will be your 7th man, maybe your 6th, if he proves he can be that aggressive. But there's a lineup, and there's a scenario where you're going to see Killian, Jaden, and Cade. Cade playing the 3. I mean, he had 15, 20 pounds of muscle. that's a lineup they can roll with. And yes, guys have to play off ball, and Jaden's kind of struggled shooting the ball, but that's something we kind of figured that coming in. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. He's a rookie. But you're going to see Killian in a lot of different lineups. I mean, the versatility Killian brings, you can legitimately play him in any lineup. You can play him with Cade and Jaden, or you can strictly have him come off the bench with the bench unit and have him, Alec Burks, Livers, Bagley, and Duren once Bagley gets back. So there's a lot of different situations you can put Killian in. I think he's going to be one of those guys that you can rely on in terms of his defense, his passing ability, his basketball IQ. Now, the offensive ability we're seeing in the preseason, we'll see how it can translate. But there's a lot of intangibles that Killian brings that the Pistons are going to need this year. But he's going to be playing a lot of minutes off the bench, I'll tell you that.
Let me ask you this. You got 7 and 12 out of Jalen Duren. I don't think you'll ever get that out of Noel. I don't think you'll get that on most nights.
I'm telling you.
Really from anybody outside of Duren at the 5. Now, Isaiah Stewart, I mean, his ability to shoot the three-point ball has just been so nice to see. But he took 10 three-pointers last night.
And that's
preseason. I don't want to see that.
No, I think that was more so
but
just...
he was 4 of 10. I mean, he made 40%.
Yeah.
Give me that all day. But that is so odd. But I think every day that goes by, he's becoming more and more of a 4. Mm-hmm. And I think there is multiple rotations where him and Duren are on the court together. Not often, but at moments when they need to go big. And then most of the game, one or the other will be out on the court in a small ball kind of offense. Am I missing the ball on that? Or no, it's probably what we should expect from this team.
I think and I'll start with Nerlens Noel, there's a good chance that you see moves by the deadline, specifically with Alec Burks or Nerlens Noel. Those guys could be on the move again. And so with Duren, that's why I'm saying right now I'm going to plant my flag. I think Duren takes those minutes from Nerlens Noel, because Nerlens was supposed to be the bridge, because we didn't see Jalen Duren play, obviously, other than Summer League. So people were just unsure. Like, is he going to see time in the G League? Is this a guy who's going to be able to play right away? He's the youngest player in the draft. He's very raw. Nah, he can play. And you talked about his rebounding ability. The guy's if he can just get to 10 points, he's a walking double-double. I mean, he's a walking 10-rebound guy. Now, can he keep the fouls down? That's the biggest question. But no, I think you're onto the right track. I think Duren's a guy who's going to be able to, especially with this team who gives up so many points in the paint. They did that last year. He provides a lot of things the Pistons need, which is size, athleticism. You saw what happened when Marvin was traded here, having a lob threat, and now you have Duren, who's even more athletic.
If I told you I would sacrifice all the wins in the world, year one, to ensure at least Duren gets 25, 26 minutes a night. Is that worth it? Because I do. I do think it's worth it. And honestly, I think he's better for the team than any big man they have right now.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Well,
I think
he runs the court, Jeff.
He does.
He just does. He runs the court. He is every guard's favorite prototypical type of big man. No, he can't shoot the three. No, he doesn't have a complete arsenal in the paint, but he's a rookie. They took him young.
Right.
He's not even 19? I mean...
Yeah, not even 19 yet.
That kid is built like a tank. You want to talk about body structure? Looks like Dwight Howard for all intensive purposes.
That was kind of his comparison as well. Physically.
I'm loving it. I want to give him every opportunity to shine. I'm not worried about the wins and losses. Show me Cade taking the next step, Ivy being what we expect him to be, Duren becoming more than what most people would even think he could be. I'm all for it, man. I see it. I can definitely see it. You can buy me in when I can see it. When I can't see it, like Al Avila and the Tigers, you lose me. When I can't see it, like Dan Campbell, you lose me.
And that's a great point, because for me, that's all I'm basing this season off of. Like, people, I think they get lost and really, because expectations to me don't always mean wins and losses. I have expectations for the players. I expect these players to get better, and that falls on Dwayne Casey. Like, that's your job, Dwayne. Like, as well as, yes, you got to put these guys in the best position. You got to win some games. Develop these players. Like, that's why Dwayne's here. So people that want to criticize, X, Y, and Z, whatever it is about Dwayne, the number one thing is, if you end the season with 30 wins, yeah, I mean, you could talk about, well, Dwayne, I mean, we only have 30 wins. Did players get better? That's the question you have to ask, because if players got better, you got to give credit somewhere. Is it Dwayne? Is it the assistant coaches? You have Rashard Lewis now. Like, who is it? And again, that's coaching. That's what matters. So for me, as long as players get better, as long as there's progress, I'm okay. Because there's going to be an opportunity where maybe this summer where Troy's going to pursue that big fish or attempt to trade for a guy, a marquee all-star, whoever it is, to kind of put the cherry on top of this rebuild. So I'm chilling. I'm cool. I'm excited for the regular season to start. They open up against Paulo Banchero in the Orlando Magic next week. I will be there, by the way. So if you guys are down there, come visit. Woodward Pistons will be down there. But that's really all it is. I'm just kind of grabbing all this preseason at them, just throwing it in the trash and lighting it on fire. It's a fresh start for the regular season. Now, if you see some of those consistent problems appear, we could talk about them. But preseason, I take little from. I mean, you saw, like you said, Isaiah Stewart shot 10 threes. Like, that's an opportunity for him just to get reps. Like, I don't look at that as, well, Isaiah Stewart's taking too many threes. Like, zero I'm taking from this preseason. All eyes are set next week against the Orlando Magic. And we'll see then.
Can't wait. All right, top of the hour approaching soon. We'll go around the NFL. Green Bay and the Jets, Jacksonville, Indy, Minnesota, Miami, Buffalo, Kansas City. A lot of good games this weekend. Can't wait. Baltimore and the Giants. Should be fun. But before we go, Jeff, you got to tell everybody about our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
Well, guys, the Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. And I can tell Lions fans, what you've watched this season, you need help. So visit SMA. If you or someone you know is struggling, please tell them or yourself to head to thesportsma.com for more information.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about our friends at Foaling, because Foaling Warehouse is the home of the original football bowling game, 2 to play for $12, unlimited open play, or you could pay $120 for a lane reservation for up to 10 people. And if you watch, if you want to be like J.J. McCarthy, or you want to throw, maybe not like Peyton Thorne, but if you want to go over to Foaling Warehouse and compete, whether it's you and 9 other individuals, head over to Foaling Warehouse, because they also have the $2 mystery beer machine and a full bar. Check it all out, foalingwarehouse.com.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show, 8:48, almost the top of the hour. We'll open up the phone line soon, so Alex, if you don't mind, please pin the phone at the top of the chat, 313-552-6322. Michigan State suck. That's the reality. It's a bad season. They're not any good.
They stink so bad, you're going to call an audible right now.
Not even just that. I want to get it out of the way now. I don't have a call on this game. I don't have a read on it. I'm not going to sit here and say Wisconsin or Michigan State. It's in East Lansing, yada, yada, yada. It's an uninteresting game for me. I'm just hoping Michigan State don't lose by more than 7. So if they lose by single digits, I'll take that as progress, and I'll move the hell on, because Michigan State suck this year. Having said that, let's talk about a team that won't suck this year, a team that I believe will have a good season, and you'll finally start to feel like it's hockey town back in Detroit, and that is the Detroit Red Wings. So we're going to bring in our good friend Michael Gentry, who is the Detroit Red Wings beat reporter here for the Woodward Sports Network. Mike, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to be very direct with you. I'm going to start with this. Goaltending. What can I expect this year?
It's going to be a lot better than last year. That doesn't mean the defense doesn't have to play their part, but you have a duo this year. Last year, it wasn't so much that, and the defense kind of left the goalies out to dry. With that being said, the penalty kill still has to be great. They've been working on it extensively in practice and whatnot, but you have a huge step up with Husso as your number 2, and Ned, obviously, as your number one, you have quite the duo.
And Mike, I want to ask you, because Dylan Larkin kind of talked about this at 97.1 as well. The biggest difference, and I know obviously you're not a player, but you're a hockey fan. You've been following the team for a long time. The biggest difference, because you've been there now in person, which is something you haven't been able to do in the past. The biggest difference to you between Jeff Blashill and Derek Lalonde, and what each of those guys bring.
It seems like the players are they're rallying a lot under Lalonde, and they're listening a lot. And they're actually just having a lot of fun. Like every practice just seems like they're out there having fun. As much as they're working and they're going over things, they're having fun, and that's the most important thing. And Lalonde is going to be a huge step forward defensively for this team. He's a defensive-minded coach, so it's going to be a whole lot different than Blashill's side of things, where our defense was kind of sorry under him. So
yeah.
Well, let me ask you this then. They went out and spent some money. They didn't bring out the Brinks truck, but they went out and got some good players. Some players that still have something to give, and some that have some longer runway, right? Perron, a little later on in his career, and then you go to an Andrew Kopp. All right, but there's balance. Walk me through the first two lines. I'm very curious, because I'm assuming Verana is going to play with the vets, and Raymond's going to get, I don't want to say stuck with Larkin, but I think it'll be Bertuzzi, Larkin, Raymond.
Yes. Yep.
Correct?
Yep. And the second line would be Perron, Kopp, and Verana.
That is dangerous.
Yes, and they've looked very well in practice. Perron has been an eye-opener. He just looks like he's taking a leadership role with this team and leading guys like Lucas Raymond and teaching them the ways. It's going to be great for this team.
And Mike, another player, obviously, that was a big conversation among Red Wings fans last year, Zadina.
Yes.
And that was something that, he was able to play last year, and then Lalonde walks in, he's like, yeah, no, you're not playing opening night. And he took it very well. A lot of things I know Lalonde mentioned he has to work on individually, which is taking care of the puck, X, Y, and Z. What's the situation with Zadina? Do you expect this to be a temporary thing, or is this something just, hey, players in front of you are just better as of right now?
I think it's kind of a thing for Zadina to kind of like put his head down and work forward. It's not really like a shot against him, because as you've seen in preseason, he was one of our best players, and he's been playing great hockey as of late, and he's been working really hard in practice. I don't think it's going to be very long before we see him and Seider in the lineup. I was kind of a little surprised. Seider was one of my guys that I really liked at practice. He's been bringing a lot of energy. But as far as not seeing them in the lineup, they'll work their way in there. It's only game one. Don't overreact to it. You will see Zadina soon.
And that was kind of the conversation too, like Edvinsson starting now, with their development league, and same with, Soderblom. He made the roster.
Yes.
And Lalonde kind of talked about it like, well, it doesn't always mean just because he makes the final roster doesn't mean eventually he can't be sent down.
Yeah.
Like, what do you, and I know Soderblom, this is someone that you've tweeted about,
he's awesome.
Same height as Isaiah Stewart. Now on skates, he's probably close to 7 foot. What are some expectations for Soderblom this year? Is this a guy who's going to be playing, or is this someone who you may see, but also you may see being developed as well, playing alongside Edvinsson?
Well, I would say he's getting a lot of extra work in practice. Like as I tweeted, Coach Lalonde was working extra hard with him.
Yeah.
But you will see him for the most extensive part of the season, I do believe. Obviously, if his play becomes a little shallow, he may get sent down. But as far as production-wise, I think he'll do great alongside Michael Rasmussen. They're two huge guys, and when you have a huge guy like Soderblom and his puck control and his stick handles on the wing, it's going to be great. And as far as his development goes, it's just going to take some years till he gets to that NHL level, but he's going to be awesome, man.
What if I told you? Bold prediction.
Oh, here we go.
Call me crazy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is this Tigers winning the AL Central bold prediction? No. Okay.
Individual.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
Jakub Verana, 40 goals scored this season.
It depends on the health of that line, but I could definitely see.
He plays 75 games.
Yeah. With last year's production, it's hard to shy away from that.
Right?
Like if he plays a full season, how could he not? So, yeah.
He has 42 and 28, 70-plus points written all over him.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's insane.
And he's got an upgraded line this year.
Yeah.
Playing with Perron, with Kopp, I mean, he has... Look, 40's a lot. The Wings haven't had a 40-goal scorer in God knows how long. I can't even remember off the top of my head. Maybe Marian Hossa is the last one. Jakob Vrana. Dude's a stud. And when you're in the conversation of Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid,
Yeah,
just saying.
His goal scoring's unmatched. And
his goal scoring rate is ridiculous.
Yeah. And I said it on BDE a couple of weeks ago when I jumped on there with D-Mac. When is the last time the Red Wings have had, like, 2 legitimate lines? Because it's really tough to say. Obviously, Larkin, the Seider, Raymond, Bertuzzi line going into year 2. But that second line could have some crazy production. So it could even be like a first line.
I think it could outproduce the first line.
Yeah.
I really do. A lot more veteran presence. Yeah, Larkin is your, quote, veteran leader, but Bertuzzi, contract year, you're expecting him to give you something, but I look at Kopp, 18 goals, 20 goals maybe.
Yeah.
I look at Perron, 35 last year, probably 22, 24 this year. And I'm telling you, 40 from Vrana, you might get 80 goals just from the second line.
It's crazy, man. The sky's the limit with this team.
And based off, those projections, if they were to come true, I know we kind of mentioned it earlier talking to you, but now you're covering the team this year. What are some of your expectations for this season? Not maybe because, listen, for me, it's play meaningful hockey late in the season.
Yes.
Be in the picture, be in the hunt. Now, will they make the playoffs? I don't think so, but you're someone who's been around the team. You kind of get the sense of what's happening. Well, what are your expectations for the season?
Well, their expectation in the locker room is definitely they want to be in there and they want to be in the hunt, and I would say so too. It would, with the way this roster is moving forward, that's all you kind of want to see is just improvement all around and kind of just get to that playoff area. With the development and our third and fourth lines and our young guys that are coming up, and we're getting some better defensemen. You signed guys like Ben Sherratt to play along Mo Seider and mature. The team's heading in the right direction. It's just you got to take your time with it. I know it sucks as Detroit fans because that's all we hear is take your time, but you got to do it.
Yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right.
We've been living by those
but
words.
Steve's been building it, so I'm not even worried one bit.
Yeah.
They're going to show a ton of progress. They may sneak in. I doubt it, but you never know.
Yeah.
Capitals were, I believe, the last seed to get in last year.
Seen crazy
And they had,
things.
100 points?
Seen crazy
90, 92 points. 94 would be really nice. But if you look at all of free agency, all over the offseason, the draft, you add everything up, the team that gained the most wins from their moves on average was the Detroit Red Wings. So,
hey, it's hard not to be excited for dinner when Steve Eiserman's shopping for groceries.
Let's talk about tonight. Let's get that out of the way. Wings, Canadians.
Ooh.
I mean, Wings are favored. Well, I'm hammering 2 bets here.
I like it. I'm
betting over 5.5.
Of course.
I think so. That's.
Yeah.
And I'm betting the Wings money line. And I'm gonna smoke a nice cigar and watch the game.
I like both of those bets. I think tonight's going to be more of like a playoff atmosphere.
Oh yeah,
because it's going to be filled down there. They got the red carpet coming out before the game, so LCA is going to be a good time tonight. Make sure to get down there, and if not, check them out on Bailey Sports.
Hey, and listen, on top of that, went last year to opening night. My God, it was electric against Tampa as well. I think the over is that's a good bet.
Yes, I do like the over in that a lot.
I do.
I'm just saying.
Maybe sprinkle a little Vrana goal.
I don't want to start rumors.
Vrana anytime goal scorer. That's your guy.
I don't want to spread any false hope for anybody at home. But I've made 4 bets under the table so far this year on the over 5.5. I've hit every single one so far. I'm just saying.
Your bets go soft.
It's early on in the season. Fish, shut the hell up before I kill you. It's early on in the year. Teams typically aren't in skating shape. This is where all the goals come in, and then it repeats in January. So if you want to get in now. Over 5.5. My favorite hockey bet. Just do it. If you see a game at over under 6.5 goals, just go to the alternate total goals. Take the minus 5.5 for minus 140, whatever it'll be. Parlay it with 3 or 4 of those. You'll be very happy. I promise. Yes. Mike. Appreciate you hopping on.
Mike, good man.
Enjoy tonight. Can't wait to watch the Wings. Very happy that a good Detroit hockey team is back in town. Hell, just a good Detroit team. Because clearly we haven't had that in a decade. So nice to see.
You're not going to see
Mike,
one on Sundays.
You'll be down there. You'll be covering it. What's your social media?
Mine is 16 Gentry. 16 my last name. Check me out.
Yeah, follow him because he'll be covering it all. Man.
Appreciate it, Mike.
And check out Jeff and Gentry, by the way.
Tonight, and have a great season. Can't wait to see your work.
Boys. Thanks for having me.
We're excited. Just try not to walk a fine line here.
I'll try and hold it in, man. It's gonna be
Keep it in your pants. All right, top of the hour coming up. But before we go, I got to tell you about where I'm probably going to get a haircut this weekend, and that is at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. They are open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. Holy hell, my hair is long as hell today.
Gorilla!
Probably should have wore a hat. That's why I'm going to go to
There's
Lady
a hat
Jane's.
behind you.
The awesome style will take care of you like they take care of me. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Whether you're looking to buy or sell your home, helping you buy, sell, and invest is Michael Phillips' top priority. Being in the game for over 23 years makes Mike the number one option for anybody. If you have real estate needs, call Michael Phillips at 313-403-0011. That's 313-403-0011. And we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show, top of the hour on a beautiful Friday morning. Jeff, I know the Lions are on a bye week, but let's go around the NFL.
Thank God.
Because football is king.
Thank God for the bye week.
And I love me some football. Let's just start. Jets at Green Bay. Who you got? What's the story to look out for?
Jets have been playing really well, by the way. And Green Bay's been struggling at Lambeau. They struggled against a third-string quarterback in Bailey Zapp. But this is the bounce-back game that the Packers need to have to stay in contention for the NFC North. And what an opponent to do it against. New York, Zach Wilson prone to turning the ball over. I know even last week they scored 40, but it's not like Zach Wilson had a monster performance. They ran the ball really well. Green Bay's defense has to step up, and you're at home. I'm going to go with Green Bay here. I think they win comfortably, but really, I do like what the Jets have. They have a lot of young talent, but I just think Green Bay in this situation, it's a must-win, and they got to get this. They got to win at home. Don't tell me it's an upset.
It's an upset.
Oh.
It's an upset. I don't like what I'm seeing from Aaron Rodgers. He's played at a poor level. You can tell me, Adam, he's due for a bounce back, yada, yada, yada. The receivers aren't any good. They're not any good. A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, what they're going to do in the backfield to try and supplement for it, I don't know. I don't like Green Bay offensively. You saw them take a, 10, 13, 17-0 lead, whatever it was, against the Giants, and they couldn't hold it. Why? Because they couldn't score the second half. The offense is a problem. The Jets' defense is one of their strengths. Give me the Jets on the upset, Jeff.
So what you're saying is a less talented team.
Jeff, we're not doing that. No, I told myself, shut the hell up. I love you. I told myself I wasn't going to talk about the Lions or Dan Campbell.
I tried to bait you.
Don't do it. Don't do that to me.
All right, so we disagree.
Jacksonville, we disagree. I think Jets on the upset.
Okay.
Jacksonville at Indy.
This one's tough.
I'm going Indy.
I
think Jacksonville already beat them earlier on in the year.
Yeah.
Indianapolis have found ways to win games. I don't like where Trevor Lawrence is heading. 4 turnovers in his last 2 games. As much as I want to pick the Jaguars, and they are my team to win the division, you're on the road in Indy. It's a must-win for both of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Indy by a point, 27-26.
Hey, you kind of, that's exactly where I was going too. Like, I think the Colts in this situation, and I'm not just saying this because I have the Colts defense starting in my fantasy league.
Oh, then I don't take you seriously.
But I did that because of what you just said. The Jags beat them earlier in the season. I do think at home, Colts defense is getting healthier. I think this is a game where the Colts win. Now, last week, I don't think they have as ugly as a performance as they did against the Broncos. But overall, I think this is a bounce back for the Colts. Give me the Colts by a touchdown.
Okay.
Maybe even a field goal. It'll be close, in my opinion.
Fair enough. I like it. Minnesota versus Miami. Who we got?
I'm going to go with Minnesota here. On the road in Miami.
My guy.
Yeah, well, listen, no Tua. I don't think even Teddy's playing. I think it's Skylar Thompson, the
yes.
rookie out of Kansas State.
Skylar Thompson is starting.
So I'm rolling with Minnesota. Listen, if they've shown me anything, the only loss, as long as this isn't prime time, is at 1 o'clock. So Kirk Cousins
It's a 1 o'clock
will
game.
be fine.
Kirk Cousins will throw for 500 yards because it's not a prime time game.
Yeah, Minnesota's going to take care of this.
Minnesota all day. Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, too much for the Dolphins to handle. You have a 7th-round rookie quarterback starting. I'm not sure what Miami can do. It's just unfortunate for them. If it was Teddy Bridgewater, honestly, I'm probably leaning Miami. But give me Minnesota on the road. They handle business against Miami. I agree with you. They'll improve to 5-1. Next game on the docket, Cincinnati at New Orleans. Jeff, who we got here?
I got Cincinnati. They're kind of on the upswing, in my opinion. They got to win. I still think they'll make the playoffs. I know people were out on Cincy early, but New Orleans, I think this will be a close game. I mean, if anything, New Orleans has shown us they can compete. Defensively, they have talent, but overall, I don't think Andy Dalton. Yeah, I think he'll be starting if I'm not mistaken. So give me Cincinnati in this instance. I think this is a good game for this offense, specifically Jamar Chase, to kind of get back on track. But you are going to New Orleans, and it's a tough place to play. But I'm going to lean Bengals here. I got Bengals. I'll say I'll give them a touchdown. Maybe even 10
Bengals
points.
with the blowout win.
Okay.
Blowout win. This is the blowout win of the weekend for me.
They
Cincinnati 34, New Orleans 17.
The one thing my only concern is got to protect Joe Burrow. Cam Jordan, you're facing a defensive line that's going to get after you. So I'm with you, though. I think Cincy wins comfortably, if you want to say 10, but blowout.
Yeah, I'm going for the blowout. 34-17, excuse me. The win by 17. I like it a lot. We'll see if Andy Dalton is the starting quarterback. It looks that way. But Taysom Hill, I mean, that is a whole different X factor.
He's a
My
weapon.
goodness.
Yeah, he's a weapon.
And by the way, just I told you so moment. For everybody that picked up Taysom Hill this week and is starting him at tight end, I'm sorry. In advance, you're an idiot. He'll get 3, 4, 5 points.
Yeah.
And you're going to sit there and say, he got 36 to last week. Why didn't he do it again?
The recency bias.
Oh, yeah.
He played well.
You were a week late, guys. It's not going to happen back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next game. This is, for me, is the game of the week outside of Buffalo, Kansas City, because that's the later on game. Baltimore versus the Giants. Jeff, who wins this game?
Sneaky. Very sneaky. Giants have been playing well. But the difference is they haven't needed Daniel Jones to really, like, again, no touchdowns last game. They still won the game. I think the Giants, and kind of their key to success, especially lately, is play good defense, run the football, be conservative, which is something we don't see here in Detroit, but be conservative, take the points, and they'll come out with a win. I just think Lamar Jackson is going to be a problem for them. Give me the Baltimore Ravens in this instance. I think they beat New York on the road, hand them their second loss of the season. But I think New York stays in there. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I'm going to lean Lamar in this case. I think this is a good situation for Baltimore to kind of get back on track. So give me Baltimore. I think they win this game on the road. Here we go. Look at you looking at me like that. Brian Dable. I know you're gonna kiss that man.
The New York Giants are going to suffer their most embarrassing loss of the year.
Wow.
Lamar Jackson will throw for over 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. Give me Baltimore to win this game 31-21.
I like that.
Baltimore wins on the road.
Kind of teased me a little bit. I thought
I'm not. I like. Again, I like what Dable's doing.
I do, but
you're not beating Baltimore, John Harbaugh coach team. I don't see it. I just don't see it.
Gotta lose eventually.
If I'm wrong, I'm going to be even more upset because then I'm going to look at myself like,
how are we?
How are the Lions 1-4? This team's 5-4.
All right, we're done. We can't talk about them. All right.
Anyways,
they're undefeated.
Arizona, Seattle. Let's get to that game. Who you got? I've got Arizona on the road. I actually think this game is probably going to be the shootout of the weekend. Give me a 28-27, a 31-28. This is going to be the over. I like Kyler Murray and the Cardinals here, Jeff.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm going to lean Arizona here. I think Seattle, if anything, as bad as they are defensively, Geno Smith has shown us that he can score points. I mean, this offense, it's not just against the Lions. They fouled that up against New Orleans and scored 20-plus points. So I'm with you. I think it'll be two teams that score over 20, maybe even 30, but I'm going to go with Arizona here. I'm going with Kyler Murray in this situation. Cliff Kingsbury's got to win these games.
Fair enough. 2 more games on the docket. Probably the game of the week. Buffalo, Kansas City. I know everybody's talking about the next game we'll talk about, which is Eagles-Cowboys. But Buffalo at Kansas City, the last time they played, 13 seconds. That's all it took.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, who wins this game?
This is probably the toughest one to call because for a lot of reasons. Number one, Kansas City has yet to lose at home. And then you have Buffalo, who has looked like the best team in football, besides that one loss to Miami, which they probably should have won. But they have injuries to that secondary. But they don't have Tyreek Hill, the Kansas City Chiefs. And although they've been playing really good football, both teams are 4-1. I'm going to go with Buffalo here. And am I confident? No, because Patrick Mahomes has shown us over the last 2 years that he can beat Josh Allen. But this is the regular season. Although it's happened in the postseason, I'm going to give Josh Allen the advantage here. I think they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. First loss for the Chiefs on the road. But again, this one of those games, I think it'll be a shootout. I really do. I think both these teams could score upwards of 20, 30s. But I do think it ends, I'll even say by a field goal, maybe a touchdown. But I'm going to lean Buffalo here just because I think they have more playmakers, especially on that defensive line. But Kansas City looks tough, even without Tyreek. So it's really a coin toss for me, but I'm going to lean Buffalo.
Buffalo get their revenge on the road at Arrowhead in a close game, a tough game, 24-23. Buffalo win against Kansas City. The final game of the docket, Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, Dallas can kick rocks here. I think
Cooper, it's that easy for you to make.
Well, because Cooper Rush, listen, he's starting at quarterback. This whole Cooper Rush propaganda.
5-0 is the starting quarterback for the Cowboys.
It's done this game. He loses.
There's no chance.
Well, defensively, they have a chance.
Well, defensively, Jalen Hurts has never played a defense like that all season.
So that's the only concern. But if we're going, I think Philly, in terms of their offense, you can't beat Philly scoring 10, 14, 17 points. I don't think so.
Bet.
See, why do you look at me like that? Why do you do that? Screw you. I'm leaning with my gut. I'm going with the Eagles. I think they win this game 2014, I'll say. 2014.
I like that you only have them losing by 6 because I have Dallas covering the spread.
Okay.
But Philly do win this football game. I can't not pick them. I think it's an ugly game though.
Yeah.
20-17, my final score prediction. Jalen Hurts does enough. The Eagles defense does enough, but that Cowboys defense is a problem. You're gonna have to, if you're Jalen Hurts. By the way, shout out to Jalen Hurts. I'm playing you in fantasy football this week. I hope you have a great game. Just do me a favor to throw all those balls to Dallas Goedert. Having said that, 20-17, close, ugly game.
Yeah.
Cowboys are gonna come back down to reality a little bit, and then they'll play the Lions the following week. I don't see the Cowboys going to 6-0 with Cooper Rush as their starting core. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
But I think they cover. I do. I think they're talented enough.
Okay. I can roll with that.
All right, cool.
That Cooper Rush propaganda.
That was around the NFL.
Done.
That was around the NFL. Let's take a quick pause. When we get back, the phone lines are open. 313-552-6322. 313-552-6322. Call in. Jeff and I want to have a conversation. It's up to you, the people. We want to talk. How concerned should Lions fans be about the team coming out of the bye week? You're getting a lot of players back. What's the expectation? I want to hear from you before next week starts, and you're all too excited, and you're like, oh my God, here we go, ba 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 ba. I want to hear it from now. Where are you at with this team? What's the expectation coming out in this 4-game stretch?
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear it. Phone lines are open. We'll be waiting. We'll see you guys in a bit, but before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Cintron.
Well, guys, Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, which are opening tonight at Little Caesars Arena. And you can go grab a Cintron, or if you're at home watching the game, why not place an order? You got Cintron. If you're watching at WoodwardSports.com, you see it, the 6-pack sampler box. One of my favorite things to do here is come in the morning, get a Cintron. They're absolutely delicious. 3 different flavors. They have cranberry, original, and sugar-free. Get your 6-pack online, CintronRoll.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader Bet Tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Hi, I'm John from Better Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Time to talk about Swiss. And not Ham and Swiss Insurance Group. Did you know that 1 in 6 kids will develop a medical condition that makes them uninsurable? Swiss Insurance can help you save money on your auto and home, resulting in no out-of-pocket costs to insure your children. Your children are new Lions fans? You're going to need this. Swiss will help you out. Check with Mark at Swiss Insurance and make sure your family is protected. All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show on woodwardsports.com, and we're going to get into the Lions, which, again, it's a bye week. So if you can sense a newfound happiness, a stress-free environment, it's because we don't got to talk about the Lions this week. But we do want to go to the people, so please, if you do want to chime in, call. You got the number in the chat, 313-552-6322. And I'll start with my expectations coming out of the bye week, and it's a lot of things, a lot to unpack. I know defensively, that's probably where it starts, but on top of that, you still have coaching. You can even mention Jarrett, mention Aiden, Jeff Okudah. There's plenty of things to get to, but I'll start with this. Next week, you face Dallas. You face a defense that is terrifying. I will say that. And a strong suit of this team is their offense. So for me, next week, the big test, whether Dak is starting or not, what does this defense look like? Because even against the Patriots, defense didn't actually play that bad. You gave up 22, I get it, to a third-string quarterback, but your offense got shot out. So this is the game, an opportunity for the Lions to play a complete game. They haven't done that since really the first half against Washington. Every game, it's either offense or the defense against the Patriots, other than that fumble 6 that put them to 29. I just want to see a complete game. Whether they win or lose at this point, I still have a prediction. I think they'll go 1-7 through the first 8 games. Call it negative. That's the reality with what I've seen so far. But I just want to see a complete game. Can the defense at least show up to some extent, along with the offense? Can they respond after being shut out? That's the big questions I have going into this week. And how does Dan adjust? And not just Dan, Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. How does this coaching staff respond? Because last week, if you're Ben Johnson, you had the number 1 offense. You had the number 1. You were number 1 in the NFL in points scored. You get shut out. Now you're what, top 5, top 3? In the defense, there's 0 excuses for them. So for me, a lot of guys have to step up. How does Aiden improve off a bye week? Now having a chance to kind of settle, go watch film, see what things you need to work on. How does he respond against Dallas, whose offensive line has struggled protecting whoever is at quarterback? So a lot of things for me I'm looking forward to see. Fish, do we have anybody on the line right now?
Yes, sir. We have Ryan from Clarkston, Michigan.
All right, Ryan from Clarkston.
And he is on the air.
Ryan from Clarkston, tell me about it, man. What do you expect coming out of the bye week from your Detroit Lions?
Well, I'm just expecting the team to get healthy, not have so many holes in the offensive line and the defensive line. Maybe Pascal getting back, Williams getting back, actually playing some football.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think the injuries are probably up there for me. Personally, what has been your opinion on Dan Campbell? Like, what are some things you're looking to see out of this coaching staff and how they can adjust from what we've just seen against the Patriots? Now you got Dallas. And say what you want about Mike McCarthy. They're 5-0 with Cooper Rush. But what are some expectations for you, for Dan Campbell, your head coach?
Well, I'm hoping we can try and take Parsons out of the game on the offensive line. Judon just absolutely wrecked us last game, and Parsons is a better player, in my opinion, anyway.
Right. Right. I appreciate you, Ryan. Thank you for sharing your thoughts here. And again, it goes back to a lot of things for me. It's not just one thing. Like, people like to point to, coaching or defense or whatever it is. You got to see improvement. And you're hoping guys get back from injury, DeAndre Swift being one of those guys who has been a game changer for the Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who has been our number one receiver so far this year. So a lot of guys have to get back, but overall, improvement. That's it, one word, improvement. That's all you want to see, and that starts from coaching, individual players, Aiden Hutchinson, everybody. And it doesn't just limit it down to one thing for me personally.
Fair enough. Good call. Lines are open, 313-552-6322. I guess, Jeff, where I'm at is... No, it's not just about improvement. Eventually, wins and losses matter. And... I'm going to save this for next week. I believe it's more appropriate. I don't want to bring this up now, but I have a little snippet of data that I pulled around coaches in the league currently, coaches who have been fired, successful coaches in the past, successful and non-successful coaches in the past. And where Dan Campbell falls in that category, I think is going to shock a lot of you. I really do. I'm going to save it for Monday. I'm not going to do anything more with it. I am going to tease it and leave it at that. But what I will share with you guys next week, I hope will get everybody on the same page moving forward for the rest of the season with the Lions. I'm excited. Jeff, let's go to Aaron out in South Haven. Aaron, you're on the Morning Woodward Show. What's up, buddy?
Aaron? All right, we lost Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you
no,
go.
he's there.
All right.
What's up, man?
Nothing much. How's it going, guys?
It's going good, man.
Good.
Can't
How are you,
complain.
buddy?
Good.
What are some things you're expecting out of this bye week for the Detroit Lions? What are some things you want to see?
What I want to see is some improvement from the coaches. Really, I don't expect a better output as far as like play. I think we are who we are right now, but I do want to see coaching improve.
Yeah, look, everyone's going to be looking at the coach. Is the team going to be up for Dallas? Dallas is not going to be an easy game. Dak Prescott likely back for the Cowboys that week. Look, again, as any Lion fan would expect, you want the team to come out, play hard, yada, yada, yada. Results matter. And at the end of the day, this is a football team that needs to start winning more often than not. Aaron, let me ask you about Michigan football. What are your thoughts there?
I think we got a team this year, boys.
All right.
I think we got a team.
All right, national contenders or still too early? What do you think?
I want to say national contenders, but I think we go as far as JJ takes us, honestly.
And you know what? I'm with you on the JJ X Factor part of it. Like, you got to unlock the kid. And you know what's funny? He threw for over 300 yards. And it seemed not only effortless, but I didn't notice against Indiana. So that was a good thing, given the offense was kind of boring. They didn't open it up. The same old words we use often with Michigan. But he is that guy. I think he's a significant upgrade to Cade. Would you not agree so far through the season that you're feeling a lot better about this team with JJ in charge instead of Cade?
100%, yeah. Like you said, he's a way better upgrade than what Cade was. 100%, I agree.
Awesome. All right, well, Aaron, appreciate you calling in, man. You're more than welcome back anytime. Appreciate the call, buddy.
Yep, you guys take it easy.
You too. You know, that's kind of the consensus, I think, with Michigan fans. They're all very optimistic, which they should be, along with, hey, J.J. McCarthy hasn't even kind of like taken his step. And when he does that, boy, watch out. I get it. I really do. Let's see what else we got here. We got David in Romulus. David, you're on the Morning Woodward Show. What do you got for us this morning, buddy?
I'm good. You guys?
Good.
Oh. All right. So I'm not saying that Dan Campbell is not a good coach or anything, but I feel like Aaron Glenn's getting more of a pass because we so-called don't have talent on our defense. And want to know like how you guys like felt about that.
Well, for me, I mean, I like to just look around the league. I mean, Aaron Glenn last year did a really good job with less talent, you could argue, right? And then this year, they're actually doing worse with additions on the defense. So to me, that is on Aaron Glenn. I get two things can be true. There's not enough talent defensively, but Aaron Glenn has to fix something, whether it's scheme, whatever it is. I think both things, there's a little truth in both, but I'm with you. I think Aaron Glenn does kind of get overlooked a little bit, but he deserves the criticism. Like, that's just the reality. I get it's a young defense, but you could point to a couple defenses in the league, David, like Atlanta, where they're not giving up as many points as the Lions, and they probably have equally as much talent as we do.
Right, and I admit some of his play calling. I'm sorry. Some Dan Campbell's play callings aren't the greatest, but some of those games that we lost, it was because of the defense, and then everyone completely ignores that. Oh, the defense cost us the game. No, it's Dan Campbell. He cost us the game. It's like.
David, I would agree with you. I do think it's more than just the defense, even execution offensively. It is coaching decisions that just have you scratching your head, whether it was the timeout in Philly, whether it was the fourth down call to kick a field goal against Minnesota, now the 4th and 9 against New England. It seems like what got it. Dead. Let's move on to Scott. Scott, you're on the Morning Woodward Show. What do you got for us, buddy?
Guys, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good, man, how are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. What I want to see out of the Lions is I want to see a harder coaching staff. I feel like they're a little too soft right now.
In what aspects, just so at least I can kind of understand a little bit more of what you're saying?
For the simple fact that I don't feel like they're pushing any of the players to be their absolute best. They look like they're trying, but I don't see any effort out there on the field.
Yeah.
Especially when the defense gets out there.
Yeah, look, honest to God, I wish I could tell you I don't agree with you, but the reality is that New England game was concerning. When TJ Lang is going out of his way, somebody who works with and for the team, somebody who is, it's in his interest to have good things to say about the football team. For him to come out and say the sideline was dejected, their heads were down, they weren't interested. It's way too early for that. So I would agree, Scott. I would agree.
That and I wanted to throw my picks out for the weekend if possible. You guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. I love it.
I got San Francisco over Atlanta by 7.
Okay.
I've got Cleveland over New England by 3.
Ooh.
I got the Jets over Green Bay.
Love it. Love it.
By 3. I got Jacksonville over Indy by 3.
I love you.
I'm going to take Miami over Minnesota.
Love it.
By 7. I'm going to take New Orleans over Cincinnati by 7.
Interesting.
Adam, I'm going against you with this one. I think New York's going to beat Baltimore.
I would be shocked and pleasantly shocked because it would work in my favor of my argument more. But I don't see it. Lamar Jackson, what is he, 44 or 41 and 13, 44 and 10, something along those lines as a starting quarterback in the NFL. All he does is win. I think Baltimore get the reality check, but you know what? At the end of the day, Scott, I appreciate the picks. Hell of a call. More than welcome back anytime, bud. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Take care, Scott.
Whew. All right, 9:28. Let's take a quick pause. When we get back, we have more callers on the line. We'll go to the people, get their thoughts on the Lions coming out of the bye week. So much more. We got a whole show left. We got the best bets coming up at 9:41. I can't wait. Before we go, Jeff, I need to know about the best defense on and off the field.
I'll tell you a good defense, especially during this bye week. This is probably the only good defense you see here in Michigan, and that's Guardian Alarm. Because Guardian Alarm, yes, fall is here. Winter is approaching, so you're spending less time outside. But what Guardian Alarm does, no matter the weather, no matter the circumstances, they're going to protect you. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT today, and you can rest easy knowing you have 24/7 protection. That's 1-800 Stay out. You heard Fish and Stick. Let them know your friends at Woodward Sports sent you.
Leave. Go home. Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
All right, everybody. Is it time to get your fighting weight off your back? Feel like summer packed on too many pounds? Well, I'll tell you what. Custom Health Centers takes the willpower out of weight loss. Whether you need to lose 20 or 120 pounds, Custom Health Centers will help you do it quickly and, most importantly, safety. Look at Kyle on the screen. He's down 38 pounds since joining Custom Health Centers. Go to CustomHealthCenters.com or give them a call at 844-789-THIN. That's 844-789-THIN.
Ooh.
All right. We're back here on the Morning Woodward Show, 9:31. Let's go to the people. 9 drinks out in Florida. 9. You're on the Morning Woodward Show. We've seen you in the chat all the time over at WoodwardSports.com. What's up, dude?
9 drinks. What up, though?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning.
So, yeah, basically a pretty quick question for Adam, basically. I'm wondering what you think that we're getting a couple dogs back right after the bye with Pascal and Jerry Jacobs. Do you think they will make a difference on our defense?
They should. I do think they'll make a difference. The problem is whether it's Jerry Jacobs, for me at least, whether it's Jacobs, whether it's Pascal, Jamison Williams in a few weeks, whether it's DeAndre Swift even coming back. That doesn't solve the head coach's tendencies of going for it on 4th down, refusing to punt, playing field position, taking points. So I do think the defense will be better. They were better against New England. They were a bend, don't break team. They only gave up 1 offensive touchdown. So at the end of the day, you got players coming back. Jerry Jacobs will be a nice player to have back, especially in the secondary that's so young. But yeah, my concern is the coaching at this point. It's not so much the talent anymore.
I completely agree with you on that. But do you think that will make Hutchinson better too?
Yeah, of course.
On the other side?
Of course, I do. And look, Hutchinson, for what it's worth, I'm not out on him. I'm not ready to give up on the kid. 5 games into his NFL career. Yeah, all his sacks came in 1 game against Carson Wentz, who kind of walked into those sacks at the same time. But at the end of the day, I'm a big believer in Hutchinson. He was the right pick. I think he'll prove you right. He'll prove everybody else right. Kid will be fine. I expect him to come out and have a good stretch of games probably over the next 6-7 weeks. He'll be looking like the number 2 overall pick. That would be my prediction.
Oh, dang it. I expected you to argue with me or something. And I didn't expect you to 100% agree with me.
No, I do.
I won't take up any more of your time, but I love it. I love your answer, to tell you the truth.
Appreciate it, bud.
Thanks for having me on.
You're more than welcome anytime. Nice having you.
Yep.
Take care. Yeah, look, I mean, I'm not killing a rookie.
No.
Who has shown flashes.
Yeah.
I am not going to kill a defense or an offense that have done what they've done so far. Granted, the defense has been pathetic, but that's coaching, and no one will ever convince me otherwise. I see it around the entire NFL, but for some reason, there's always an excuse in Detroit. I never understood it. Ever.
No.
Ever. Let's go to Elijah. Elijah, you're out in Detroit. You're on the Morning Woodward Show. What do you got for us, buddy?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning, yeah, man. I love the show, man. I
Appreciate
watch
it.
all the time.
We appreciate you, man.
But there's two things that I'm going to be looking for after the bye week. The first is coaching. Obviously, everybody's saying coaching, but there's really an issue. Like, that 4th and 9 was like a Madden play, and this is not Madden. And it was just crazy. I could not believe that he went for it on 4th and 9. But a positive with Campbell is he got a lot of players that want to play for him. Even when you watch Hard Knocks when they was cutting players, like, they showed gratitude for even being in the situation that they was in. So, like, he has a lot of players that want to play for him. You hear Lamar Jackson. I'm pretty sure Dan Campbell is one of the reasons why he wants to even consider Detroit. But, you know, his mistakes is really costing us games. And I really hope that for the rest of the year he learns how to coach and actually win games and close out games and even lose gracefully. You know, he has to understand how to coach in this league if players don't want to come here, because we're going to have to spend a lot of money on defense because this defense is atrocious. And I think that he overcompensates on going for it on offense because you know that the defense can't really stop a nosebleed. So
right.
I think that that's what he's going to have to really focus on is closing out games the right way. That's how Jim Caldwell, to me, lost his job. He didn't know how to win the big games and, you know, finish it. You know, we got to start putting together a complete game, top to bottom, first quarter to the fourth quarter. Can't have a great first half, terrible second half, and can't stop anybody. Can't do that.
100%. 100%. You got to put it all together.
Yeah, and the second thing I'm going to watch is Goff really is he really the quarterback that we can win with in the future? Because we're going to have possibly 2 top 15 picks, and, you know, we're going to have to start looking at quarterback and a defensive player. But I want to see if he's really the guy that's going to, you know, be on this. Because if he is, that's going to really help us. You know, we can use those 2 picks on defense. But, you know, those are 2 things that I'm really looking forward to.
And I think that's fair too. My biggest concern, Elijah, and I want to hear your thoughts on it quickly because you brought up Jim Caldwell and Dan Campbell. The biggest difference too is Dan has that excuse because of the quote unquote talent he doesn't have on defense, which is true. But what happens when you do get talent or you do get a quarterback? How do we know he won't end up like i.e. Brandon Staley out with the Chargers? Like, is there any concern with you that, yeah, maybe he is going for it because their lack of talent on defense, but what happens when there is talent? Do you think all of a sudden he's just not going to go for it anymore?
I do think he has scaled it back some. He has to understand he has one of the best. He has probably the best punter in the NFL. That is a weapon.
Right.
You have to use him. He can every time he kick it, it seems like it's in a 10-yard, 15-yard. You know, that's a weapon. Mm-hmm. You have to understand how to use his weapons. And I think I think he really overcompensates right now because the defense, you know, we missing some starters and, you know, we missing some key draft picks. So I think he's really trying to overcompensate on offense right now, going for it all the time.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I appreciate you calling. You're welcome back anytime, Elijah.
Well done, Elijah. Appreciate it, bud.
Appreciate it.
Take care. Enjoy your weekend.
No, I agree with him. I mean, there's a lot of things you're looking for, but that's my biggest question: is does Dan get let off the hook because of the lack of talent on defense? What happens when there is talent? I think he's still going to go for it. Like, I don't think that's ever going to change. I think that's who Dan Campbell is, to be honest with you.
I'm trying my best to shut up, so I'm just going to let you say that, and I'm going to move on because I have what I have ready for Monday. I don't want to use it now.
Oh, okay.
And what I will tell you Monday. Well, I will tell you Monday. I promise you, Jeff, will change your entire opinion on the Detroit Lions, their record, and Dan Campbell. Your entire frame of thought, everything you thought was true or not true
will be altered.
Everything will change.
Wow.
I thought the Lions don't play Sunday.
Leading up until
Didn't I tell you shut the hell up?
Yeah, but I don't listen to that.
I know, clearly. What's up? No, Fish, pay attention.
Said you're going to give us some great fact that we didn't know about.
Yes.
Well, you could have gave it to us this past Monday.
No.
They don't play Sunday. What new are you going to figure out? There's nothing new.
Yes, there is, buddy. There's always something new. Just shut the hell up.
Fish, we'll be previewing the game coming up. So
Fish, shut
there'll
the
be
hell
plenty
up.
to talk about.
When we get back, it's time for best bets. What are we? 9, 12, 15. We are 11. No. We are 14 and 11.
Ew.
Through 5 weeks.
Ew.
14 and 11. We had a bad week last week, 2 and 3. We're going to look to recover.
Wow.
Fish, I swear to God, if you don't mute your mic and shut the fuck up.
I wanted to see you win.
Shut the fuck up.
I want to see you win.
Shut the fuck up.
I want to see you
14
win.
11 is not winning?
It's not very good winning.
Have you ever bet in your life?
No.
Anything above 55% is really good. Just shut the fuck up.
Look at Neil Rule. He's got a better record than you. You know why? Because he does one game.
Because he only bets one game.
Yeah, so he's smart using his
I
brain.
can do that too, buddy. That's
Then
not.
do it then.
That's not what I do. I give away 5.
But you want the people to win.
I am.
Now,
I'm giving them winners.
They're looking
They're
at their
winning.
bank account saying, "Oh, that's good. They're not doing very good."
What am I dealing with
yeah,
here?
I don't know.
I swear to God. Hey, by the way, shout out to everybody in the chat, friends and family. If you know anybody that's gone to school for audio engineering sound, we're hiring at Woodward Sports.
Yes, hire 'em.
Anyways,
Get 'em
we'll
in
be
here.
right
I
back.
wanna go
When we
home.
get back, best bets.
I wanna
Jeff,
get out of here.
Tell everybody home about our good friends over at
Watch
Big
the
Boy.
LSU golf.
I got you. Fish, here, listen, I'll take the stress away. I'll take you to Big Boy. We'll have some good lunch, all right? We'll enjoy some of those all-new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not just a Slim Jim. It's the Big Jim. They have the chili cheeseburger as well as the bacon blue. And Fish, how about upgrading those fries, by the way? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries,
do you not?
nacho fries. How do you not? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Let me tell you about our friends at Chili Peppers Tanning, because, guys, winter is coming. The sun will not be as hot as it was the last couple months. So you got to get your tan on if you need it. Go to Chili Peppers Tanning, because it's where you'll find all the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms, trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations, and more on the way.
Chili Peppers Tan.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Let's get to best bets of the weekend. We got 5, and you know what, Fish? Hockey season has started.
This is where the wins start coming, Fish.
I'm super excited.
This is where the wins start kicking in. Okay? This is where everything changes. So we'll start with tonight. The Red Wings over 5.5. Take it. That's the first bet. That is the first bet. The second bet we're going to do is the upset of the weekend. I already alluded to it earlier. Money line, the New York Jets to beat the Green Bay Packers. I love this game.
What's the money line again? What's the odds for the Jets?
I think up plus 247.
Oh, wow.
Something along those lines.
Yeah,
Wow.
makes sense.
Having said that, this is the... I'm not going to leave it towards the end. I'm just going to give the official get-right lock of the week.
Oh, I like this.
Yep. The official get-right lock of the weekend. Rams to beat the Panthers at home. Hammer the money line. Hammer the Rams covering the points.
What do they got? Ben McAdoo as the interim head coach? I don't know who.
Yeah,
it is.
they're going to lose by 50.
Yeah, they're going to lose.
And the Rams suck. Rams aren't even a good football team.
No.
That is the ultimate lock for me of the weekend. We'll go to college football.
Yes.
Michigan.
Big games this weekend.
Michigan to cover 7 points. Michigan to cover 7 points. And then, of course, at home, on the upset in college football, the second upset of the weekend.
Uh-oh.
I'm not just giving you the easy ones, guys, by the way. I'm giving you upsets you can actually make money on. Kansas on the road, Oklahoma, Kansas beats Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's a garbage fire
I
right
can
now,
see that.
dumpster fire right now.
Yeah.
So
They got
I don't
murdered to
mind
Texas.
it. Yeah, I don't mind it. And those are probably great odds on Kansas, right? I mean, what are they, like slight favorites or are they heavy favorites?
What is it?
What is Kansas right now? What are you betting on? Like, what are the odds?
I think Oklahoma's minus 305 on that line. So
wow.
Yeah, Oklahoma easily favored.
That's way
Yeah.
too much.
Yep.
Way too much.
What do you know about Kansas football? Nothing. So there you go.
Right. They're kind of swimming under the radar.
What do you know about Oklahoma football? A lot.
Kansas looked really good this year.
They do.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Tough loss to TCU.
Mhm.
I'm not selling out. Give me
Look
Kansas to beat Oklahoma.
Look at Booner in the chat. Gabriel may be back, and Kansas QB's hurt. I don't know if I could take the money line.
I would take a money line. Oklahoma suck.
No, yeah, they're pretty bad.
Fish could show up to Kansas, play quarterback, and throw for 350 yards against that defense.
That would probably explain the money line. Is
but that's
the quarterback's
all-
injured.
100%.
Quarterback's injured.
That's all the Big 12,
Guys,
though.
it's about making money.
I know.
You want me to tell you, oh, you know what? Let's pick the, I don't know, the Niners against the Falcons. You want that bet? Go ahead. You could figure that out.
Yeah.
That's not hard.
So then give us how much money you've won, then just scratch the record.
What do you mean?
You want to make it seem like you're making good money. 14 and 11,
Yes.
that doesn't show you're making good money. But if you tell people, hey, I made this
I
much
make the
money
sa-
last week,
I put
then
the
they-
same
oh,
amount. I put the
this guy's
same
really
amount
good then.
on every bet. It's the same amount. And I'm not going to share that.
I'm
'cause
actually
that's
helping.
not cool.
Well, I'm helping you. I want to make you look good.
Let's put it this way. I'm up enough.
Okay.
I'm up at least 2,300 on the year.
Okay. Well, that's what the people want to hear, so that they know, oh, Adam's got good bets.
If you bet
Boop, lock 'em in.
$100 on every game, you'll be happy.
There you
But
go.
most people can't bet $100 on 5 games a weekend. It's
We'll put-
irresponsible.
We'll put 10, 15,
Sure.
20.
Sure. Sure. I gave you guys 2 upsets. Still riding with Kansas. I don't like Oklahoma. Their
Go
defense
Jayhawks.
would give up points to anybody. Give me Kansas. All right, let's move on real quick before we get to mailbag time. Jeff, game of the weekend. We talked about it earlier. Buffalo, Kansas City, and then you have Dallas and Philly. 2 big matchups. The question I have for you is, who's got more to lose? Kansas City, Buffalo, Philly, Dallas.
That's a good question. I would say more to lose would be Buffalo, because Buffalo all year, to us at least, and to a majority of NFL fans, this is the team to beat since week 1, even before the season. So if you lose to Kansas City, it's not necessarily the results. I mean, they'll be fine in the long run, but it's the psyche of Josh Allen. Like, this is a quarterback in Patrick Mahomes and a team in Kansas City that you haven't been able to beat. And now you have a chance in the regular season, a game that ended how it did last year, 14 seconds. And if you go and you lose to Kansas City again, it doesn't bode well for them heading into the playoffs.
That confidence shakes a little bit,
shakes
right?
a little bit. So I'm gonna go with Buffalo. They have the most to lose. At least Kansas City, if they lose, it's like, hey, we beat this team last year.
Hey,
we'll
we're
get
good.
better.
We've been there, done
Right.
that. We'll recover.
And then
We'll
Philly
be
and
back.
Dallas, they can suffer a loss and be fine.
Well, Dallas can sit back and say, well, we're 4-2 with Cooper Rush.
Right.
We're happy.
And then
Dak
Philly-
will be back.
Philly's
And
undefeated.
then Philly, if they lose, it's like, we're 5-1. We lost to Dallas. We were going to lose the game eventually. We'll get right after this.
Right.
So,
But the NFC
I agree. It's Buffalo.
But the NFC East, that race to the win the division, I mean, those two.
See what the Giants do. The Giants
It's
pull
tough.
off a win against Baltimore. That division is so interesting through 6 games.
Yeah, it is. But I'm gonna roll with the Bills. I think they have the
I'm
most
with
to lose.
it. I'm with it. Let's take a quick pause. When we get back, mailbag time. Get all of your questions in the Woodward Sports chat. Whew, I'm excited. I'm excited, Jeff. Let's get to everybody's questions. But before we do, our good friends over at Odds Trader.
Well, guys, you heard Adam's perspective on the best bets, and the Lions do not play this weekend. So you know what that means? No heartbreak. Go out, head to oddstrader.com is the #1 site for your game day bets, play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price on every game from multiple sports books. They have everything right in front of you. It's convenient, and I'm a guy who loves conveniency. So I will be using OddsTrader. You guys can too. When you're placing your bets this weekend, head over to oddstrader.com right now and find out your best bet.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
And we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Let's get to the people in the Woodward Sports chat. We'll start with Jack Harrington. Adam, why are you so mean to your coworkers?
Surprisingly not, he's actually not mean.
Who?
You.
Thank you, buddy. Somebody defends me around
It's just called life. Yeah. It happens. I have to understand
Look,
the
every once in a while, you gotta
consequences
tell
for
somebody
calling
to shut
people
that
out.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or shut the...
Jacob asks, how long does Justin Fields last in Chicago? He ain't lasting his contract.
No.
It's not working. I can tell you the future now with Chicago. It's going to get blown up. The GM's going to go. The head coach is going to go. Fields is going to go. None of it's going to work. They're going to be a bad team for the next 7-8 years. You're welcome.
I can see that.
All right, Mailbag. Who will be starting quarterback for the Lions week 1 next year? Interesting.
Jared Goff. I think even if they draft a quarterback, I don't see him starting right away.
I don't know why the conversation's been about Jared Goff lately. He's giving you more than what you've expected.
Yeah, you're not trading him. I mean, let's be honest here.
That Cole comp, whatever. Not even bringing that up.
Yeah, you're not trading him.
Would you guys trade for next season, would you guys for next season trade Swift, cut Goff, and sign Lamar, Barkley, or Jacobs, if possible?
That's a lot of hypotheticals.
I can't tell you that because, yes, I would cut Goff in an instant, only take a $5 million dead cap hit, and then go out and give Lamar Jackson money. Sure, of course, but that's not happening.
No.
Lamar's not hitting the market. He just isn't. Adam, Jeff, does Utah have their dead teammate on their helmets change your pick for the USC game? Second question, Adam, will you put an NFL touchdown parlay before Sunday? You know what? I'll do that right now. We have a very special guest in the Woodward Sports chat right now. I know he's listening. He's a dentist. He knows who he is. So here is the anytime touchdown score that I'm going to give you. We're going to start with A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown score. Saquon Barkley, anytime touchdown score. Jonathan Taylor, anytime touchdown score. Mike Williams, anytime touchdown. And those are the first 4. Now, if you ask me why is Adam saying this so meanly, well, that's who I'm going up against in fantasy. So I'm hoping for some reverse psychology here. But jokes aside, anytime touchdown scores, there are 3 players that come to mind this week that are either due or it just makes so much sense to bet on. Melvin Gordon, Monday Night Football, anytime touchdown score. You can already lock that in. Somebody who hasn't found the end zone. The Broncos have struggled. They're due for touchdowns. Give me Melvin Gordon, anytime touchdown score on the Monday night game. Go to the Bills-Chiefs game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, anytime touchdown score. And then my favorite anytime touchdown score of the entire weekend, Alvin Kamara finds pay dirt for the first time this season. Give me Alvin Kamara, anytime touchdown score.
About due for
Those are my 3 touchdowns. Granted, Melvin Gordon is on Monday, so if you want one more just for Sunday's purposes, I would say Lamar Jackson probably sneaks in a touchdown. I would say that.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
So those would be my 3. A.J. Brown's on a bye week, lol. Jack, I love you, buddy. But shut the hell up.
Andrew asked, Jeff, how long until we see an NBA team in Vegas or Seattle? I don't think it's too far-fetched, by the way. I think Vegas is deserving. Seattle as well. I think down the line you'll see expansion, but first, really, it's just getting there and finding ownership. I know LeBron's come out and said he would like to own a team over there. We'll see, but I think it's a matter of when, not if, Andrew. When
you know
they
what
get a
game I
team
do
in
want to
one of
talk
those
about?
cities. What's up?
Alabama, Tennessee. Bama on the road at Tennessee. Do they lose that game?
They could. I don't think they do.
You want to talk about a Heisman moment for Hooker? It's that game.
Listen, I'm going to say this. If there's one quarterback to get excited about that may not be, amongst the top of the top in terms of quarterbacks, it's Hendon Hooker. Like last year, it was Malik. I know that conversation was brought up. Hendon Hooker is a guy who can legitimately do it all. And I get this is a guy who's in the Heisman race. This is the moment, Adam. We talk about those moments. This is an opportunity for Hooker to solidify himself in that Heisman conversation, but also solidify himself for the draft this upcoming year because he's special, man. I love watching Hooker. I really do. I mean, he's fun to watch. He takes care of the football. He can do it all. He can throw it downfield. He uses his legs, his athleticism. I think it'll be a close game, but I'm going to give it to Alabama in this instance. I just think Alabama, historically, against Tennessee, it hasn't been really close. But if anyone's going to beat Alabama, it's Hooker. It really is. And this Tennessee team.
Fair enough. Let's see. Move Kate to small forward is the mood. Excuse me, I'm too much of a Killian fan, though. My friends tune me out. What do you think of that? I totally disagree. But
yeah, because it takes away.
Entertain it.
I think he'll be playing small forward in some lineups, but it takes away that advantage. Like if you have Cade at your point guard or two guard, it gives you a significant advantage just because of the height he brings. If he's a small forward, now you have Cade as a 6'6" small forward. It's not ideal. I mean, I'd rather him guard ones and twos rather than a threes on a consistent basis, but he'll be playing it from time to time. There's no doubt about that.
All right, let's go out for more questions in the chat. Andrew Smith says, knowing how bad the Michigan State secondary is, will Harbaugh still try to run the ball 49 times during that game? Yeah, you got to take advantage of it. You can't watch Minnesota, Maryland, Ohio State on film, game plan for Michigan State, and not let JJ rip it 30 times. You have to. Now, do I think they can run the ball and dominate Michigan State? I do. Mm-hmm. But boy, you'd be wasting. He wouldn't be attacking the weakest part of that Michigan State team, which is their secondary. Oh man!
If the Lions have 2 picks in the top 20, do you take 2 defensive players?
No.
You think quarterback's one of them? Yeah, I'm leaning that way too.
I think you're drafting a quarterback this year. Again, depends where they are. If they're in the top 3, Will Anderson, yeah.
That's probably.
I would trade up then and try to get a quarterback after that, maybe, if I was in love with one. And I am not verbally going to say Stroud, Bryce Young, Levis, any of these guys. Nobody. I am out on everybody. When the football season ends, I'll start diving in and thinking about quarterbacks. Right. Fair? Because I don't want to do that right now.
No,
I really don't.
Right.
Having said that, I actually don't mind keeping Goff into next year.
Yeah, me too.
If this is the Goff I'm getting, somewhere between the shutout loss and the high explosive offense, give me something in the middle. I'll use that. Maybe I can groom a quarterback this year or draft one the following year. Whatever it may be, Brad Holmes has that flexibility. At the end of the day, if you're picking high, you're either taking a quarterback or Will Anderson if he's available. If not, you either want to trade back, stockpile some picks, go all in on defense. I don't mind going all in on defense in the first round. You saw what the Jets did, Sauce Gardner. You saw them take Jackson, the edge rusher.
Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Florida State, right?
Yep.
So, you see it. Devin Lloyd went to Jacksonville. You see the teams. You got to invest in the defense. I agree 100%, but it also has to happen in free agency.
Yes.
You got to bring in some veteran bodies, communication, secondary players, linebackers, whatever it needs to be. Figure it out. Brocker sucks. Harris sucks. Fix it.
Anzalone. Throw them all in there.
Oh, man. Missed Parsons, missed Lloyd. We need a stud linebacker. Man, you know what, Jeff? I hate to say this.
We were right about Lloyd. Man, that guy was a top 10 pick to us.
How many times did we sit up here? We traded back in the PFF mock drafts
just to get Devin
Lloyd at 8.
Yeah. At 8, and he falls to the end of the first.
I was willing to take him at 8, and so were you. Frustrating.
And now he could win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
But I still don't mind the pick. The fact that you landed Hutchinson's. Hutch will turn good, guys. Just FYI.
He'll be fine.
I'm a believer in it. I think it will work out. Having said that, how do you feel about Roquan Smith? I don't know. Dude got bodied by Carson Wentz last night, so I don't know how I feel about him. I don't. I wouldn't trade a first-round pick. I wouldn't trade any. Guys, you're not giving up draft capital. You're not making any trades. You're not buyers or sellers. You're just not. Brad Holmes has gone out of his way to fix the draft, the salary cap. I don't see him going and adding more to it. I just don't see it.
No.
Let's end it there. Jeff, thank you so much. You have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow for the college football show at 10 a.m.
Yep.
Fish, have a good weekend. Alex, have a good weekend. Everybody in the chat over at woodwardsports.com. Thank you so much for a great week. Lions bye week, thank God, officially over. We'll get to the Lions-Cowboys next week. Enjoy your NFL Sunday. Enjoy your college football Saturday. We will see all of you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
So much football. Go enjoy it. How do you not?